Hi, this is Tracey from Chaos to Clarity. Today I want to show you how to take advantage of RSS feeds. RSS feeds are information that it's a way to deliver information to you. This is particularly common way to deliver information for websites that are frequently updated, like a blog or a news website. So using a RSS reader, Google Reader is a very common and popular one. You're able to access all this information from one spot, either on the Google Reader website or on an application you may have on your desktop, such as Newswire on the Mac. So let's just quickly go over how you do this. And this is really great if you want to keep up with lots of information, or you just don't want to have to go and spend all the time going to the different websites. So most blogs or a news organization will have an RSS feed that you can click on to subscribe. There's usually this orange icon next to it. So that's one way to do it, subscribe from the website. Or you can subscribe to it from your reader. So if you use Google Reader, which is a very popular and very well-designed reader. So once you have a Google account, you can go to your My Accounts and then you click on Reader. And you'll see this one is empty. So I need to fill it with what's called subscriptions. So if I know the name of the subscription I want, the name of the website, then I can just actually do a search and Google will pull up all the subscriptions that are all the RSS feeds that are on that website. So for example, I'm going to type in the New York Times. And it's not case sensitive. Okay, so here is a list of all the different feeds from the New York Times. So let's say I'm interested in Paul Krugman, the Nobel Prize-winning economist. Okay, so I want to subscribe to this feed. This is all the information. So I can click on it and look at it before I even subscribe to it. These are his articles or his column on the New York Times. So if I want to subscribe to this, then I click on subscribe. And subscribe means that it's going to be automatically delivered in my Google Reader and I don't have to go looking for it again. So you can see it's under my subscription list now. So say I want to subscribe to the Chaos to Clarity blog. Chaos to Clarity. Again, this isn't case sensitive. Okay, so it found the Chaos to Clarity blog. So I can again click on it and see what the see the name of the title, what types of articles or posts are done, and then a little brief description. So if I want to subscribe to that, then, and this subscriber just means how many people use Google Reader that I subscribe to it. It's not the total number of subscribers. So then I click on subscribe, and now I'm subscribed to the Chaos to Clarity blog. So that's one way to subscribe to a blog. Okay, another way to subscribe to a blog or website is to actually go to the website and look for their RSS feed. So this is the link to the RSS feed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click if you're on Firefox, and I believe this also works on Internet Explorer, and I'm going to copy the link location. And then I'm going to come back over to Google Reader and I'm going to paste it into it, and then I'm going to say add. And that's going to add the Mashable feed for the Mashable to social media news blog or website. So that's it. So the easiest way to do it in Google Reader is to actually do a search for whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for CNN, it'll click. You just type in CNN, hit enter, and CNN feeds will come up. So this is really a great way to have information come to you. Okay, now we're looking at an account, a Google Reader account that has lots of subscriptions. And there's probably close to 100 different subscriptions in this account. So now it becomes a little bit more difficult. How do you actually access the information without wasting your time? And there's a couple things you can do to access information in an efficient way. One is you can do a search. So if there's something going on in the news that you want to do a search for in your favored news sources, you can just type it in. So let's just look for Iran. We're going to search all the items and we're going to see what comes up. And so because I don't have a lot of news sites on here, this is going to be strictly more tech related. And you can see a lot of stuff from Twitter's coming up because Twitter was used a lot during the past and current crisis in Iran. So that's one way to find the information. And the other way is to create folders. You create folders by clicking on the arrow key next to the right of subscription. Go to the bottom and click on Manage Subscription. This will take you to a list of all the feeds that you have subscribed to. So most of these feeds are already in folders, but there's a few that are not. If I click on Unassigned, all the ones that aren't in a folder will be checked. So let's just say I want to add a new folder called News. And so now this Chaos to Clarity blog is in a folder called News. And so you can change folders. You can go from social media to web dev. You can have them in both folders. So make sure if you just want it in one folder, you uncheck the other folder. So that's a great way to organize your feeds. It's really I find that very helpful. Another thing you can do is that you can star articles or posts that you want to go back to. So for example, okay, let's look at the social media feed. So this is a collection of about 8 or so feeds. So I'm going to just read them all together. If I wanted to read a blog individually, these are mainly blogs, I can just click on that blog and the 2 posts from that blog will come out. But that's kind of inefficient. There's only 27 new posts. That's what this bolded number means. There's only 27 new posts that I haven't looked at. So I'm just going to do it in one shot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look as I see an article that seems interesting to me. Then I'm going to star it. So say I find this article about learn and practice language tweet by tweet. I star it. I'm going to go back to it later and read it. So this is something that I always do just about every day. I go and I star the stuff that I want to go back to when I have time to do it. Especially given my profession, I have to keep up with a lot of technical information and technology changes so fast. So I find this is a very good way for me to keep up with what's going on. Other professions will be different. So I just go through and I say, okay, I want to read this thing about the browser war. Google Chrome's overtaken Apple Safari. Well, it's a better browser, so I'm not surprised, but I want to read more about it, so I star it. So then I go and I can look at all my starred items, and you'll see I have quite a few. This goes on for I have more than 60 items. You can see down here more than 60. So then I can go and then I can look at what that I wanted to read. So this is a quicker way. Now, I don't always read everything that's starred, but this is my first pass to get down to the information that I really need to read. And again, because it's important for what I do to keep up with what's going on, this is a really essential part of my day. For other people, if it's just a way to keep up with the news and it's not part of the profession, they may not go to the extent that I'm going to. So it's just the kind of thing that you have to pay, just try it out and figure out what works for you. This is what works for me, but just experiment. Now, one thing I do recommend in the beginning is not to have so many blogs. I mean, I have 100 feeds, mostly from blogs. I wouldn't recommend doing that. You want to start with something a lot simpler till you get your, till you get your rhythm down and you know what you're doing and know what you like. And now, one thing I always do is there's a blog that they stop. I don't find their articles useful anymore. I unsubscribe to them. So there's an easy way to unsubscribe to a blog. I'm just going to use Mashable as an example. So all I do is to the right of Mashable, this arrow will come up. Then I I have a lot of things I can do. I can also move it to a different folder. Say I wanted to move it to the web dev folder, I can do that. But I also from here, I can unsubscribe, and then I would just click on unsubscribe, and then Mashable is no longer part of my subscription. I'm going to cancel that because I really depend on Mashable. So that's pretty much it. It's not that complicated, and Google Reader makes it really easy. So if you don't have a Google account, sign up for one and try Google Reader.